welcome to Audio Addiction. We have These Wolves with us, and he can say his name, what he does in the band.
My name is Darren Fisher, and I write songs, sing, and play guitar in These Wolves.
Awesome, awesome. So my first question, Darren, like I ask in many of my interviews, how'd you start out These Wolves? How'd you get your members?
Well, I was in a bunch of bands way back when. I was in a metal band for a very long time.
Oh, wow, okay.
And did that for a while, and then I could never find musicians who were as dedicated as I was. Though I didn't have that much direction way back when, but at least I just knew I always wanted to stick with it. So, my last band broke up in 2012, and I took a long sabbatical. My dad passed away during that time, and just trying to find myself. Music was going to be what I wanted to do, because a lot of stuff happened. And then I started working with Steven Kellner, who I'm sure Idle Wave has talked about. Steven Kellner. I listened to that interview. I've known Steve for a very long time. His band Vanetta High, I played the same Bamboozle that he did.
Oh, cool.
And we were in the same circles, but we never kind of connected. And I just I see he's a producer now. Let me just hit him up to do some acoustic songs. And so I brought him 2 songs, and one of them was the first single, Dead to Me. He's like, yeah, this needs to be a full band song. So I was like, I don't know. I want to do acoustic. He's like, no, I'm going to get a drummer. I was like, okay. And it just kind of morphed into this huge thing now where, I have hired musicians, and we hire a drummer. Steve plays bass on the album or the songs, and I sing and play guitar, and we just keep going, just writing, and we brought in a bunch of people. So yeah, it's getting to be These Wolves.
It's a process. I always think I always love when bands kind of take that. I feel like almost at your point, you take almost more of a solo artist approach to what you're going for, and I always love when bands kind of evolve, and I always love asking this question because I think it brings a lot more meaning to the songs, the people who are behind it, writing it, and stuff like that, in consideration to you being more, I would say, more of a solo artist. I find that really cool. I like that you had pretty much your producer be like, hey, listen, you need a band that do the band thing. It's gonna work out, and I'm glad it's working out for you, man. It sounds like it's really doing good things.
Thank you. Yeah, Steve is great. I would have never been in the position that I am now without him. So, and I constantly tell him that, and he's he's a singer songwriter too. He's trying to do that and build his audience and try to do the producing thing and do the band thing and trying to do that. And I have a question for you. Were you at the Idle Wave show last week?
I was at the Idle Wave show. Yes,
Were you wearing an orange hat?
I was wearing. Yes, I had a black. No, wait. Let me think. No, I was not wearing an orange hat. I was wearing a black hat, and it had some pink on the front.
Okay. Then I definitely saw you. I was at that show.
Okay, sick.
But there was 2 people, and I was like, I don't know if that's him. I only saw one video.
That's.
And I don't.
Oh, I know who you think who it was. It's CJ from another band, but I know who you think you thought. I was close to him, so if you did see him, I was probably in the vicinity somewhere. But
okay.
But that's funny. That's funny as hell. We should have just met up there. But
Yeah.
That's really cool. I always love when again, a producer is really in that seat and really helps out. And I think that Steve has a really cool thing, especially talking with Guy, has a cool way of understanding what the artist wants to do because he's doing the same thing. So I think that that's a really cool perspective thing. And hopefully Steve, if you'd like to come on, man, let's do it. But
yeah. Maybe get all 3 of us. Guy is so awesome too. I spoke to him over the weekend. He's in the same boat as me, and he's such a nice guy. So
shout out to Guy, love Guy. Anyway, Darren, my next question is, speaking about going to shows, what are some favorite venues you like to play at? If you've played any shows yet with These Wolves, I don't know. But what are some favorite venues, even if so, you have venues you've been to?
Sure. I played a couple shows with these Wolves that have been acoustic because like the full band thing, it's hard to get people, like
Of
paying
course.
them and stuff like that. So I have a buddy of mine who I known since high school. His name is Ian. He's kind of like the lead guitar player, and I'm trying to get like a band behind us now. But I play Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck. In my past metal band, I played Starland Ballroom, Bamboozle, like Giant Stadium, like that. That was pretty cool. Maxwell's in Hoboken was always one of my favorite places to play, but that closed. So, yeah, just around there, just locally.
Awesome, awesome. I've never been to Debonair. I've heard good things. I live more South Jersey, so Philly is a little bit closer for me, but definitely a place I want to visit. See some shows there. Maybe next time I'll catch a good one there. But my next question, Darren, to follow up the venues. Besides the Audio Wave show, what was the last show that you attended?
I saw Wage War
Oh,
at
sick.
Starland
Okay.
Ballroom. Yeah, I'm a huge Wage War fan. Um, yeah, all the bands I like are pretty much that like heavy metal stuff, and then like I'll listen to like Duncan Sheik and Elliott Smith, balance it out, and that's kind of like how the sound comes out. I don't know, but yeah, Wage War. Well, technically it was like a Mirror and Stick to Your Guns,
Yeah.
but I went there for Wage War. So
There you go. I feel like we have a lot in common because that's what I enjoy too. Those real heavy bands, and then at the same time, I love like bands like City and Color and like acoustic sort of stuff. That's like my jam too. But speaking about bands, what are some of your musical influences? Who do you draw from?
well, the first band I ever got into was Nirvana, so that will always be like number one. Foo Fighters, obviously, too. They kind of go hand in hand, but like Korn was a big influence on me growing up. Incubus, like the new metal scene, like Limp Bizkit, unfortunately, and like Edema, who you probably don't know who they are, and
No,
Flawed,
unfortunately.
Trust Company, and I love the Used. Like Steve and we always geek out on John Feldman's productions of the first like two Used records. He also did the Story of the Year record, Page Avenue.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything that John Feldman touches is like gold to us. He actually worked with a band called Dead. They're like they had like the new metal sound like a Limp Bizkit would, but it's John Feldman like rich production. You should definitely
Oh,
check.
that's tight. Okay.
Like John, it sounds like Limp Bizkit if they like and the Used like combined. I don't know, like sonically, it's weird.
Okay. I'll have to give it a
Same
listen.
too. They were produced by John Feldman too.
Yeah, I love Beartooth. Love his stuff.
Yep.
He's one of my favorite lyricists. One of my favorite bands. Love the new record a ton. But speaking about bands, we've been talking about a lot. What have you been jamming recently? What's on your Spotify? What do you listen to in your car? Stuff like that.
Sure. I've been listening to a lot of like not the local bands, but like bands that are around me. So like um, a guy that I know, he's a drummer for this band called Spirit Animal.
Okay.
He's on tour right now with Red Sun Rising. I've been listening to the new Roderick stuff, which is Steve Kellner. The Fuzz is releasing a new EP. I'm getting ready for that by listening to their old full-length album, the new Idle Wave, obviously, the new Reality Suite. Yeah, Wage War is still on there. I'm like an old school guy, so I'll just like buy the CD and just like rip that for like 6 months at a time, and then get sick of it, and then like, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. New
Um,
Pop Roach.
I'm old school too. Literally, if I'll show you after, but I have like a wall of CDs up here, and then in my room, I have like a ton of vinyl. So I totally get what you mean about. I'm like 25, so I gotta have that physical. I don't know, something about I can't do the. I like streaming it if I don't have it, but I gotta have it physically in my hand. I always love that. That's always a cool thing.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. Like the art of making a record is kind of like in the digital age. It's not as fulfilling anymore. I don't know. Like the tangible. That's how you learn like all the stuff. Like who's behind this and who's behind this and who mixed that and who produced that. I always love that kind of stuff, and the lyrics and the liner notes. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love reading that. That sort of stuff is like what gets me going and what makes me like maybe enjoy the record even more. But my next question, Darren, is a fun one. If you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
I already covered a song, and it's Tom's Diner by Suzanne Vega. Do you know
Okay.
that song at all?
I am not familiar with it, unfortunately.
Okay, it's like you'll know like the hook of the song is just like vocal melody. It's do you know that at all?
No, not ringing
Okay.
a bell, unfortunately.
Uh, Fallout Boy also like sampled that in Centuries, I think,
Oh,
but
okay, cool. Okay.
I uh, I wanted to make a hard. It's like a pop like '90s kind of dance track, and I made it like a hard rock version of the song. It hasn't come out yet, but it's going to. Once I get the video, I kind of made it like the Telltale Heart, and eventually that vocal melody just keeps getting more intense and more intense and more intense until the guy goes crazy. That's what I wanted to do in the song. So, but yeah, it is coming out soon.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to it. I'm gonna have to give it a listen. I'm gonna have to listen to the original. I'm gonna have to listen to that Fall Out Boy song because I haven't listened to Fall Out Boy in a while. But I'll have to do that a listen to and listen to the cover as well. But another fun question: favorite food to eat?
Oh, it's probably pizza. But that's like such a stereotypical like answer. But like that's the most consistent in New Jersey, I think. So
It's the East
pizza.
Coast.
Yeah, I also love Mexican food, but pizza's probably number one.
Okay, okay. I'm
How about you?
feeling both of those answers. I gotta stick with my heritage. I love Korean food. But just like Asian food in general, I'm always down to get. But yeah, that would probably be my answer. But pizza is so good too, so it's tough. But anyway, my next question, getting back more to the music related stuff, if you could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest vocalist on your next record or producer you'd like to work with, who would it be?
For producer John Feldman, definitely John Feldman. Um, I would love to have Dave Grohl on the track, but
Oh yeah.
Burt McCracken from the Used, yeah, something like that. I actually have Siobhan from the Fuzz, that band, the Fuzz. The next single that's coming out is called Holly Says Go, and she's actually featured on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so but she's an amazing singer. If you haven't heard of the Fuzz yet, definitely check them out.
Awesome. You're giving me a lot of homework, and I like that. I love when
Yeah.
bands give me that homework. Now I gotta do my due diligence. But next question, Darren. If there was another musical instrument that you could play, what would it be?
I would love to play drums. I'm so terrible at it, you know. I'm terrible at guitar and singing too, but I'm the most terrible at drums. I wish I could play drums.
I find that that's a major commonality amongst guitar players because I also play guitar too, and I find that I don't have that hand-leg coordination. I don't know what about it is. Like I could maybe keep like a simple beat, but I can't go like off that beaten path. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
I think that's the problem that I have with drumming. Otherwise, I'd probably say the same thing. Drumming is something that I feel like I would love to do. It just feels like that like stress reliever. You could just hit it as hard as you want.
definitely. Even piano, there's like that kind of like percussive thing when I can't do it. I don't know what it is. Like I just can't do it. But yeah, I do have some piano tracks, and it takes me forever. Like Steve plays like the piano tracks like in the studio because it takes me like I'll make my crappy demos and like everything's just everything is just so hard. He'll like do like all this like cool stuff, so he does it much quicker than me. So I just have him do it. But I'm terrible at it.
Awesome. My next question, Darren. I gotta say, I'm a huge video game fan. I'm a huge nerd, so I always love asking this question. But if you could be a video game character, who'd you be?
Probably Marcus Phoenix from the Gears of War series
Ooh, okay. That's a solid answer.
because he always has like some cool catchphrase when he's shooting people. Yeah. I'd probably be the guy who dies first, but has the best catchphrase as he's dying. That's me. So
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Definitely dig that answer. Haven't heard that one in a while. Usually it's more like this. I have like a little like Zelda thing,
nice.
but it's usually more of those answers more recently. But I like that you picked more of a modern game. But anyway, getting back to the more musical related stuff. In your opinion, who puts on a great live show in terms of like bands that you've seen?
Wage War put on a good show the last time I saw them. Do you mean like bigger bands or just or even?
It could even be. Why don't you give me one local band? You give me one larger band that you've seen.
Okay, Wage War is Foo Fighters puts on a good show. Also, like locally, there's a ton of bands that put on great shows. Idle Wave is one of them. The Fuzz is another one. There's another band called Ascending from Ashes.
Okay.
They're kind of like a hard rock metal band. They do a killer cover of the Power Rangers theme.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, they're a really good band live. Reality Suite's good live. Yeah, that's I can't. Yeah, Roderick's good live. So yeah,
Awesome.
I'll go with that.
Awesome, awesome. My next question to follow up, obviously, best live bands. If you could compile a dream tour, who'd be on the lineup?
Oh, well, these wolves would have to be on there.
There you go. Well, that's the whole point. You got to.
We would have the noon slot of the festival, and then like all these other bands, you know. But like probably like Corn, Corn, Foo Fighters, like Breaking Benjamin.
Okay.
Let's see, Papa Roach. I love this band called Nothing More. The guy needs to put on a
awesome.
shirt. He makes me insecure, but his music is really good. Let's see who else. There's a band called Cold that I really love. They were in that like new metal, like Fred Durst. I think Fred Durst signed them a long time ago.
Cool. Okay.
But they sang that song "Stupid Girl." Do you remember that song?
Oh yes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of theirs. But yeah, they would probably be in there. They would play the 1 o'clock slot when we play the 12 o'clock slot. Yeah, the Used obviously too would be on there. So Steve and I can geek out. But yeah.
There you go. Sign me up. I'm already locked and loaded. Let's get this moving.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, next question, Darren. Getting back into more of the fun stuff. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite TV show is like everyone says Breaking Bad, so I'm not going to be that person. I really like Dexter until season 5.
I feel you.
But yeah, and if it's a comedy, then I would have to pick the IT Crowd. Have you ever watched that show?
Oh yeah, nice. Okay, haven't heard that one ever, but that's awesome.
Yeah, you should if you haven't checked that out, you should definitely check that show out. And favorite movie, if it's like an action movie like Die Hard, it's like a drama. I like What's Eating Gilbert Grape and like The Crow because I'm a sap, and and for like comedy, definitely Tommy Boy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a very good one. I haven't heard that name in a long time either. I think you're the first one to give me that answer, but that's awesome. Like that. Next question. If you're trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album that you could bring with you, what album would it be?
That's a good question. I think it would probably be Nirvana's In Utero, and not Nevermind, but In Utero. Yeah, probably that one. How about you?
I feel like a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people usually go with Nevermind because that's the like classic Nirvana record. But I do like their other stuff. I think I feel like a lot of people just get that sort of like original like Nirvana stuff. I feel like the stuff that they did, otherwise is like super cool. But for me, oh man, that's tough too. I think in for sake of keeping it the same, because somebody has also asked other bands have asked me this question. Currently, I'd probably say either the new Beartooth record, because I've been listening to that a ton, or the new Architects record, because they're both fantastic bands. Of all time, it would have to be I the Mighty Satori. I don't know if you've heard of that band.
No.
But I love that band to death. They're one of my favorite bands. So gotta show them some love. That's probably, if I had to pick all time, it'd probably be that one, because I've listened to it more times than I can ever imagine to listen to it, and I never get tired of it. So definitely one of those. But my last question, Darren, or it's not even really a question, but tell them about your band, where they can find you at, and anything coming up in the new year.
Sure. TheseWolves.com is a good place. Facebook, Facebook.com/TheseWolves. Instagram and Twitter. I'm terrible at those things, but if you want to follow me, you can follow it at @these_wolves. I don't post on Instagram or Twitter very often because, the algorithm just doesn't like me. So, but yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any new music coming out, before the year's over with, or?
Yes, the next single, Holly Says Go, featuring Siobhan from The Fuzz, will be coming out December 28th. We're filming a video for it next week, next weekend, so that will hopefully be out. But I wanna put it out on Valentine's Day because it's a very dumb thing to do. So and it's a really sad song. So I want it's like the anti-love song. So that's why I want it to come out on Valentine's Day.
There you go. You got a plan. I like that. Awesome. Well, shouts to Guy, because inadvertently that's how we got this interview going. So I gotta show love to Guy. Check out Idle Wave, but more importantly, go check out These Wolves. Links are in the description. Go check out his music. Go be up to date with what he's doing. I don't know if he'll be posting more, but if he does, that's how you'll find out about it. And if you enjoyed this interview, make sure to share, like it, subscribe. It goes a long way. And thanks to Darren of These Wolves for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.